Welcome to Time to Teach with Tammy, the podcast that gives tips, advice, and suggestions to teachers by a real teacher. So sit back and enjoy. And oh yeah, don't forget to subscribe. And we're back. Welcome to Time to Teach. Well, kind of. Actually, we're just back long enough to tell you that we're not back. We are officially on winter break. So as always, you guys, any kind of break time, my schedule is a little bit inconsistent. We will be in and out of the city. So it's just always better that I have the podcast go on break as well, since our schedule is not the normal schedule that it typically is. So as such, Time to Teach is officially on break. And actually I think Time to Teach will not be coming back until February. So quite a substantial break. And that's primarily because once I go back in January, my January schedule is very hectic. It's basically what I always think of as our assessment month. There's a lot going on, and I just remember last year coming back from break and then having all of that plus a podcast was a lot. So I think February is going to be a better comeback time. In the meantime, as always, I will be making shows to have those ready to go. In fact, I still have a ton because I batched my shows. And I've lately just been batching over break periods, and that's where I get the primary bulk of my content done is during the breaks and just bulking shows, and that's been working really nicely. Because, I am doing this on top of my regular life. So it's been really good that way. Okay, so I actually am going to include a little something in this winter break announcement. I actually thought I wanted to discuss what I do on our last day before break because, I don't know, that's just something kind of nice. Now, we had our last day on the 18th. Sorry, maybe it was the 19th. Getting confused now. 19th of December of 2012. So I'm guessing most people are probably out on break as well, but I did want to include some things that I do on the last day. And before I explain how I spend my last day, what I do on the last day before winter break, I just want you to know it's just what I do. I'm not saying that everyone has to conduct their last day this way. Primarily because I'm about to make the statement that I do not really believe in putting movies on, things like that. And again, I'm not saying that no other teacher should or that I'm judging other teachers who do. I'm not judging anyone. I think every teacher needs to do what they need to do. But just for myself, I don't. Well, also because you have to understand my students are very young. They can't really sit through a movie anyway. That's just not really a thing that they do. So I don't do movies. I just don't believe in that kind of stuff for me. I like to keep the academics going. I'm just very big on making sure we're spending the time that we have together really as effectively as we can. So I try not to waste time. And so one of the ways I do that is on the last day is, I'm keeping the academics going. So I'll explain a little bit about what we do. Actually, in our whole grade level, that first hour and a half, we go from when we open the door at 7:55 and kids come in, and then we go until 9:30, and 9:30 is our first recess. We have 2 recesses. So from when we first come in, we start our first we kind of start this first thing in the morning we do what we call holiday rotations with every classroom at our grade level. There are 5 of us. So the students will rotate through all the pre-first classes and spend about 20 minutes in each classroom learning about a different winter holiday. So I'm trying to remember what they did this year. I did Hanukkah, and we did like a menorah craft. In one classroom, they did some kind of winter music rotation where they sang different winter songs. One in the past used to be winter solstice, but I'm not sure if that's still what they did this year. Another classroom, I think, was also on something on Hanukkah, I believe. Oh, I know what it was. They played, I was about to say, I think they made a dreidel, but I think maybe it's already pre-made and they learned how to play dreidel. And then New Year's activity. So it's fun because it's not super academic, but they do get to learn about different winter holidays, which I think is good for them to know about the different holidays that are celebrated in the season. It's just good for them. So there's some academics, but it's fun and it's different. Fun and different, so they actually kind of feel like maybe it's, oh, we're having a celebration. We're not really having a celebration, but we are doing something totally different than how we normally do it. So for them, it's really good and fun and enjoyable. So we do that. And then the way my schedule is at 9:30, well, all of pre-first and first grade then go to first recess until 10 o'clock. My students at that point have Spanish class from 10 to 11. So our Spanish teacher comes to the classroom. And then I come back at 11. And the rest of the day we're doing what I call holiday rotations. And they're 20 minutes. So they feel kind of long. But they're basically, if you listen to my episode last week, I run my holiday stations the same format as math stations. So by groups, they just move through the different stations with 20-minute blocks. So let's see, I had one station with my TA where she read different holiday books to them. And I think they just kind of like chose the book they wanted. I had one station was a how-to write how to do something that has to do with the holidays, like how to bake cookies, maybe how to bake a gingerbread man, how to build a gingerbread house, how to write a letter to Santa if you believe in Santa. So different things like that. Then the other station was the menorah activity that I had done with all the other pre-first classes in the morning. Since we only have 4 kind of changing through 4 different stations, I hadn't done that activity with my kids, so I did it. That became an activity in our holiday station. So they created a paper menorah. And then lastly, it was a station with me where they learned about different winter holidays. So part of what they learned was, some things that they might have learned in the rotations. Basically, I showed them a Brain Pop Junior video on winter holidays, and in that video, they speak of Christmas, and they really kind of get more into like the background and what is celebrated, what are the what are the traditions. Boy, that was hard to get out of my mouth. What are the traditions involved? And that was actually, I think, last year where I did the whole like holiday rotations, and I had done this activity. It's really nice. I play them the video, one winter holiday at a time, and I stop the video, and then I have them sort of sketch note what they learned. So basically, as I'm setting up the video, I'm telling them, we're going to learn about the different holidays. I want you to listen to the holiday to learn something new. So I say that because Christmas, many of my students do celebrate Christmas. Not all of them, but many of them do celebrate Christmas. So they probably think that they know a lot about Christmas, but they don't necessarily know, the different cultures who celebrate Christmas and what they do. This video kind of gets a little bit into some of those things. So I have them listen to learn something new. And then after it speaks to each holiday, I stop it. So it starts with with Christmas. I play just that part. And then I stop it. I have them think, what did you learn? They give me a thumbs up and they're ready. And then I have them sketch what they learn. And they do that through all 4 holidays. So there's Christmas. There is Hanukkah, Kwanzaa, and New Year's. So those are the 4 holidays that video speaks of. So that takes a good 20 minutes after stopping and pausing and reflecting and sketching and all of that fun stuff. That's a whole 20-minute rotation. So that's what I do. And since it's our last day before break, typically on Friday, I will, for the last 20 minutes, will count group points. Any group that has 30 points or more gets to participate in a little bit of extra free time in the classroom. And I'm sure I've mentioned how I do that in another video or episode, so I'm not really going to get into that, but it's just what I do on Fridays. It's just a nice way for them to end the week and enjoy and really feel like, oh, I earned this through my hard work. So after our holiday rotations, because it's not our last day, usually is not on a Friday, but it's the last day of the week, we go ahead and end with, the last 20 minutes of a little bit of free time. So that's what I do on my last day before break. Nothing really, wow, but just something that I think helps to keep the academics going, which to me is very important. Another thing I always say is I'm really not there to babysit. Anything else kind of just it really does feel like babysitting if you're just putting a movie on. Again, I'm not judging anyone who puts movies on. It's not what I'm saying. I just personally don't like it. I'd really, I enjoy creating learning experiences, and I think that even though it's the last day, they can still be doing things that are academic in a different and fun way. It can still feel special to them and like, oh, we can be celebrating in a different way. But yeah, that's it. That's how I do my last day before winter break. Anyway, that's it, you guys. Since this is really more of like a winter break announcement, there are no wins and fails segment. So I'm going to end it on this. I'm wishing everyone a wonderful holiday season. Whatever holiday that you celebrate, just have a fantastic holiday season. Enjoy time with family. I feel like that's what the holiday season is really about. It's just that really good, special time with family and creating special memories. And that's it, you guys. I will see you in February. Until next time.
Wait a minute. Wait 1 minute. Before you go, don't forget you can catch our show notes online at www.timetoteach.libsyn. That's libsyn.com. We're also on Facebook at Time to Teach. Don't forget to check out our Facebook group, Teachers for Effective Curriculum. And if you're an educator with your own podcast show, I invite you to join our brand new Facebook group, Teachers Who Podcast. Let's grow a community where we can network, problem solve, and discuss anything and everything podcast related. I'll see you there.